Okay, in this session we focus on how to program in Java. Let us see how to write the first simple Java program. When writing the program, we need to have to write first comments. This is a command line. This is first simple Java program. There are three styles of commands supported in Java. Right? The documentation here itself. There are three styles of commands to be followed in Java. One is a single line command. How single line commands are defined in C and C++. Using slash slash characters. Slash slash, after that you can type anything. This is a single line command. Second one is a multi-line command. How multi-line commands are defined in C and C++. So please interact with me. Multi-line commands. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is the notepad visible? Notepad is visible to you or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How multi-line commands are defined in C and C++?
Slash start slash.
Multi-line command starts with slash star and ends with star slash characters. Another type of command defined in Java is a documentation command. Documentation command begins with slash star star and ends with star slash characters. Documentation command that is used to define to produce the HTML equivalent of the given code. Later we are going to explore the documentation command. Now we are going to introduce only these two kinds of commands. One is a single line command and another one is a multi-line command. Commands can be introduced anywhere within the program. For example, here as a first line, we are introducing a command line. This is a first simple Java program. Second line, you need to write a class. Class, for example, welcome. Class name. Name of the class is welcome. In Java, class is a keyword. Class is a keyword. Where it use capital C. Class. This is a built-in class available in Java's lang package. Java.lang package. There is a difference between class and class, right? Small c, right? Java is a case sensitive language above all, right? Java is a case sensitive language. Both uppercase and lowercase letters are completely distributed. Small c, right, introducing that defines a keyword. Capital C class, a built-in class defined in Java's language package. So here the class is a keyword. The keyword class is followed by the name of the class. What is welcome? Welcome is the name of the class. Class name is welcome. This opening and closing curly braces define the scope of the class. The scope of the class starts here and the scope of the class ends here. Within this opening and closing curly braces, here we need to define a main method. For example, static, public, void, main, string, arguments array. Closing this inside this main method, we are going to define one executable statement. For example, system.out.println welcome to learn Java language. Semicolon. Closing the curly braces. Now let us explore the simple Java program. First line which introduces the comment line, single line comment. Comments are completely ignored by the compiler. Second line, class is a keyword. The keyword class is followed by the name of the class. Name of the class is welcome. To name a class, we need to use the rules for naming the variables. The rules for naming the variables, that is, for example, identifiers, right, methods, those are applicable for naming the class. First character should not be the digit. You can introduce, right, underscores or dollar symbols. You can introduce alphabets. So welcome, this is the name of the class. In Java, uppercase and lowercase letters are completely distinct because Java is a case sensitive language. Java is a case sensitive language. This opening and closing curly braces define the scope of the class welcome. Then considering the main method is defined, right, using the keyword using the right method name main, right? Main is the method name. This is not a reserved word in Java, right? This is not a keyword. Simply this is a method name. Considering the method name main, the return type is void, right? This void indicates the return type of the main method. Void main. In this, void defines the return type of the method main. In C and C++, right, you might have seen, right? For example, whenever a method does not return a value to the calling phase, its a return type void is an optional one. For example, f. This is same as void f definition. What is this f? First version, the version f, right, does not return a value to the calling phase. So the return type void, right? This is an optional one. Both versions are the same. Where in Java, whenever a method does not return a value, right? Void is compulsory. Void is compulsory, mandatory one. So here, main method will not return a value to the operating system. So that stage, main method must be declared as void one. Understand? Understand or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second, we are going to explore what is public. In Java, there are three access specifiers. Access specifiers or modifiers. It modifies something. There are three access specifiers. They are private, public, and protected. These are the three access specifiers available in Java. The access specifier private, which indicates that the scope of the method or scope of the lines, scope of the variables, right, which are limited to the specific region. Outside the code block, private variables methods cannot be accessible. Opposite of private is public. Public can be accessible anywhere outside of the code. Main method in Java must be declared as public in the sense that you are going to call the main method outside the scope of the class welcome. Of course, you need to save the file as welcome.java. W should be a capital one because the class welcome defines a main method, or else main method is defined inside the class welcome. You need to save the file as this class name.java, welcome.java. When you compile the program, you are going to call, right, the main method outside the scope of the class. So that stage, right, what will happen means you are calling the main method outside the scope of the class welcome.java. You need to mention the main method as public access specifier. So public void main. This is a mandatory one. Another one is a static keyword. The keyword static can be used for different purposes. To define the variables. To define the variables as static. To define the methods as static. Another purpose is you can also define a block in Java, right? To define defining a static block. Later we explore how to define a static block. As far as here a static is concerned, before creating any objects of the class, before instantiating, any objects inside the main method, main is called first. In that situation, first declare main method as static one. Hence, static public void main. This is a value. The keywords static and public can be interchanged. We can also write public static void main. So understand the justification of these things. So static public void main. Then exploring the parameters of main. Parameters of a method must be mentioned within this opening and closing parenthesis. So this parenthesis defines the parameters of main method. The main method takes parameters of string 1. What is string means? String is a built-in class available in Java's lang package, java.lang package. Java designers felt that whenever a main method takes object array of string 1, then command line inputs can be received in command line inputs. Can be received in string arguments array. Must not specify the size of the string arguments. So specify some empty arguments array. String args. Size should not be mentioned. Size should not be defined here. We can supply any number of command line inputs. All command line inputs are received in the array args. Args is just user defined name. We can also use X array, Y array, Z array. Args of 0 receives the first input. Next input is received in the location args of 1. Next input is received in the location args of 2, etc. Your last input is received in the location, for example, args of n. All these args array values are of a string type. String is a built-in class in Java. So main method must take the parameters of object array of the string 1. So that's what this is a valid one. Static public void main string arguments. Public and static interchange. If you want, you can write a public static void main string arguments array. Main method must take the parameter array which is of a string type 1. Even you can use write some integer array, integer x array, float z array. But the program will compile, your program will not run because Java interpreter expects that the parameters of main method must be of string type 1, so that your command line inputs are to be assigned to the string object array. Later, the command line arguments values are converted to the required data type or required type, say floating point type, integer type, character type, like that, right? We explore later how to pass the command line inputs and how to convert the command line inputs into the required So as of now, static public void main, a string arguments array. This is a valid declaration, valid statement. Next, this opening and closing curly brace defines the scope of main method. Scope of main method. Main method program execution begins at the main method. The first line to be executed is right at this place. System.out.println. Welcome to learn Java language. Now we are going to explore this output statement. Before going to explore this output statement, we need to learn what is a package in Java. Packages are nothing but collection of classes